Hello everybody, welcome to Project Beauty, where we talk about project panning and everything beauty related. My name is Jen. We're going to be doing an update, my very first update to my Project 10 Uses Project Pan, and I'm very excited to share with you my thoughts on the products that I brought in the intro. So let's go right over this. There isn't really anything to talk about for the project. You use everything that I bring in 10 times, and I started it on November 18th, and I'm just going to update on the 18th, and it's going to be continuous until I decide to end it. So super basic, really easy, and very straightforward, and I love that. I need that. So the first one we have brought in was the Melt Glaze Skin Sheer Finishing Powder in the shade Fair. Basically what this is a finishing powder that goes over top of your finished makeup look to give you a little more luminosity, a little more glow, a little more frosty finish. It's beautiful. I love the packaging. It's very sturdy plastic packaging. It's really nice. It's kind of like a brownish beige like look to it with the typical Melt stamp on the front. The label is like a beige with a brown font. Really cool. I have not really seen that, I don't think, from a brand before that I can think of anyway. And so this is in the shade Fair, of course, which is their lightest shade that I'm aware of. I have two shades. I have Fair and Light, and Fair would probably be best for me right now. And I like this so much. Just, I've got to tell you what I think about it. I like it a lot. It's an absolutely beautiful product. And as you can see, I have used it a lot, and you can already almost see rings, which I'm still, I think, a ways away from getting there, but the imprints are already starting to show. And I have used this 11 times. I'm trying not to use it more than the 10 times it allows, because that's really the goal of this, is to use it 10 times, see what I think, but I couldn't help myself. I enjoy it. I basically apply it with a very huge fluffy brush. I also use this for bronzer, which is why it looks that way that it does. But I take this, just fluff it into the pan, very lightly dusted, and I just kind of dust this all over my face. Now you got to be very careful with this product because it is very glowy, so you don't want to go in too heavy. You just want to lightly dust it on top of your finished makeup look to give you a finished glow. And it is absolutely stunning. It stays throughout the day. You get a lot of product in here. There's a total of 9.5 grams of pressed product. It has almost a cream to powder feel to it, but it is just a powder. And you can honestly get a highlight glow from this just from swatching in the pan. Like, it is very potent. So you definitely want to go light-handed, and it will pick up a lot on the brush because of the consistency of the product. So fair warning, if you're going to use this, do not use tight bristles. Do not use a pinched ferrule. Make sure that you're using a brush that has an open ferrule and the bristles are long and flowy and fluffy. It will make your product look so good on your face, and I swear by this. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. Highly recommend. So unfortunately, that one will go back in my collection, but you guys know you're going to see that in a very current project, I'm sure, somewhere. The next one is the Say Liquid Blush, and this is this particular one came from a holiday set, so it is a very tiny mini. It's a beautiful size. It's gorgeous. I have to say, so this is the shade Rosy, R-O-S-Y, and it is stunning, absolutely beautiful. I have it on today as my initial blush color. Then I went on with my foundation, and then I went over with just a very light dusting of an Ace Beauté blush. And I know it's subtle right now because I have worn my makeup off a little bit throughout the day, but I'm sort of going for a more natural finish and natural glow lately. Even on my eyes, I find that I'm changing the way that I do my makeup a little bit right now, and it feels good. It feels nice, and it feels fresh and easy, and I'm enjoying every single product that I use, which is so nice. So I really adore this. I do want to show you the stopper. This has a doe foot, and it's a huge, massive doe foot on the product. I am in love with the consistency of this product. I'll show you here. I'm in love with the way that it sweeps on the face. It's such a nice consistency. It's a gorgeous amount of pigment. It's got a nice shine. It gives you a healthy glow. I put a lot on, but this is how much I pretty much put on my cheek, and then I just blend this out. It does work well with a beauty blender. It does work well with a brush. It does work well with your finger. I mean, you're getting great payoff on your cheek and great application no matter what you use. So I'm going to be honest, if you guys can still get your hands on the trio set from Sephora for the holidays, or if you're interested in one particular color from the line, definitely recommend, and I will be looking at the brand for more. I was blown away by this product. I think it's beautiful. It's such a gorgeous color. It's a really flattering shade, and I think a lot of people could get away with this color. So this is the shade Rosy, and I think it's just so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Absolutely great for this time of year. Just gives you that like wind-burnt, kind of pinched, chilled look on your face. It's so beautiful. Definitely recommend this. So I have used this one 8 times, so I have 2 more uses. I will probably go over that, but I'm going to try not to because I do have another cream blush that I need to finish, and I have a couple other cream blushes and projects that I would like to start using, but it's been very hard not to touch this, and I am trying to use other things, so that's why I'm only at 8, but it has been very hard not to just grab this every single time. I like it that much. So recommend this. This is a Say cream blush in the shade Rosy. It's actually called Dew Blush, so just know it's the Say Dew Blush in the shade Rosy, and I'm loving it. It's so good, and it stays in my project panning part right now. So good. So good. Okay, so that's 2 for 2. We're loving our stuff so far. That means I've made some really good purchases at the Sephora sale. The newer things that are coming into my collection are really getting loved. I've used them so much already. I know it's been almost a month. I'm filming this slightly early, like barely early. But with all the other things that I have in projects, this should tell you just how much I'm enjoying my product so far. The next item we have is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation, and this is in the shade 2C Pure Beige. This is a really nice color for me. I do have this on today on my skin. I had to buy the pump separately, so that means this was an incredibly expensive foundation. I don't feel like you should have to replace your pump on a foundation. This is not a drugstore thing. This is not a CoverGirl foundation that you're paying 10 bucks for. This is a high-end brand. You should be getting the bloody pump with it. That infuriates me, and I have the pump now so I can replace it, and that's great, but your customer should not have to buy a la carte. No offense to the brand. I think this is a fantastic item, and I do love a lot of the Estee Lauder items. In fact, I would have loved to be able to afford to buy more, but you know, I have so much going on in life that just, it's not a good time for me, but I did want to at least get this because I've heard nothing but amazing things, and it just infuriated me that I had to buy a cap, like a pump. Now I do keep this thing on it just because my son, he will try to press, and I don't want to waste this because it is, like I say, very pricey, so I keep the cap thing on it. But this is a very, very lovely foundation. I hated using it with my fingers when I first started using it. It was awful. That's why I haven't reached my uses yet, because I refused to use it until the pump came. So I currently am at 8 uses. So I have 2 more uses to go on this. I'll probably get those done in the next 2 days. So this one will be rolling out, even though the update is early. I'm filming it, what is today? The 14th. It goes up on the 18th. So I'm going to get this used up in 2 days. So I will reach my 10 uses on this, and I'll be bringing an item in right now in place of this one. So this one will be rolling out. You won't see this at the next update, but I want to get those 2 uses. The next item, okay, so let me go back a little bit. I'm going to backtrack to the foundation. I do want to say that it is a very, very lovely foundation. I think I got a little bit hyper focused on the pump situation, and I just realized I hadn't talked to you very much about the product, and I'm sorry. The product is fantastic. It is very nice. It shears out over the skin, but it still gives you full coverage, so it doesn't feel like you have a ton of makeup sitting on your skin. I do have it on, like I said, today, and I'm loving the color. I'm loving the payoff. It sits well with powder foundation over top. It sits well with setting powder underneath the eyes, all over the face. It works well with the finishing powder. It doesn't pick up when you put stuff like blush and things on top of it. So I feel like it is a really nice formula. It's just the fact that you have to keep replacing that pump that annoys me. But other than that, it's a very lovely product. I can see why it's popular. So the next thing that we have is KVD Lock-It Powder Foundation in the shade 130 Light. So this is the powder foundation from KVD. I love the external part. It looks like when you do calligraphy and you have an ink or like a stamp like when you stamp an envelope. That's kind of what this reminds me of, is like the wax out here. Also like spilled ink to me. I don't know why this, but it definitely looks like the stamp. And I love the fact that there is hints of red peeking through around the packaging. I'm definitely going to keep this as a backup if I need to replace an item, or I want to like repurpose and franken an item. I will be keeping this packaging for that. And you can actually replace the products inside. It does come with a sponge, and I probably will use that for cream products, not so much the powder. I think it'll just, because of the fact that there's holes through this, it's a very porous product. It will pick up a lot of the powder and just kind of like place it funny, and I don't think this is the right product for this personally. It does come with a nice mirror. It's a beautiful packaging, like I said, and apparently I think you can, let me just see if I can grab a tool and get this out of here. I don't want to say that it's replaceable, but I thought, oh, it must be because there's a little hole there. Maybe I can grab a toothpick. Here we go. Will that fit? Oh yeah, okay. So you can see here that the powder comes out and you can replace it. So it is refillable. You can definitely use the product. It has a very good magnet. I was actually not sure if that was physically going to come out. I thought it was going to be glued in there. So that makes me really happy that I can take that out of there and replace it with another powder. And I know the powders are quite expensive, but if I like this product and I want to repurpose it, and I want to repurpose this and be more sustainable with packaging, this is a great way to go. I don't mind putting an extra little bit of money in there if they're giving you a packaging that's wonderful and you're only paying for the replacement product. That's awesome. That I'm okay with. And I do love this powder. It is very beautiful. It is quite opaque. This is a stunning, stunning shade on me. I think it works very well. You won't even be able to see it on my skin if I'm being honest. It might be like a little bit light, but it works very well on my face because my face is even lighter than my hands, because when I'm driving, the sun is at my hands. And this is just the perfect color for me right now. So I will continue to buy this shade and continue to use this product. So far, I have used this 3 times and I am enjoying it, but I still need to get more familiar with it. I think it's a beautiful, wonderful product, sustainable, great packaging, all that stuff going for it. But I do want to use it a little bit more before I give you my full thoughts. So, and then the last item that we brought in the intro, which is the 5th product, is the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the Glow Seeker highlighter, and it's in the shade Sun Idol. And as you can see, it's got this beautiful crisp white packaging with like a rose gold stamp on the top. And then it's got like this beautiful, almost ice cream sandwich look to it, but it's like fancy ice cream sandwich with like gold flake on the food. You know how they have that edible gold flake? That's what it kind of reminds me of. It's really beautiful. I love the sturdiness. It's like a heavy, it's like weighted, gorgeous. Love the white with the rose gold package or the detail. I think that's stunning. The stamp on the back, or the sticker on the back, is just their basic sticker with their basic logo and everything else. I think this would have been cool if they went with almost like a rose gold theme stamp as well, but obviously the packaging should be more luxe than the label, I think, so they did okay there. The product itself is great. Like this you can position at any level and it stops here. So if you're putting it on a little bit of a higher counter, you can physically see. So it's good for travel. I think this would be great packaging to travel with. It also has this, which I eventually will take off. You guys know me, I keep it on for a very long time. And then you have the physical highlighter itself, which is the dupe for the Umrizi, and I missed out on Umrizi, and I'm so glad that I have this shade now. But it's very beautiful. I have been enjoying this immensely. It's just the most stunning highlighter ever. Like, it's just beautiful. It's got this gorgeous, just soft golden hue. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. It is definitely not for all skin shades. I think it would have been smart for them to do 2 tones and do 2 separate items. Also, I think it would have increased a few more sales, because a lot of people just for consumerism purposes buy almost everything that people come out with instead of just buying for their shade, like their skin shade, self included. I have done that in the past. I'm trying to change that, but this is beautiful. I love the product. I think the packaging is stunning. The glow that the product gives is beautiful. 10 out of 10. Love this. I think this is fantastic. I'm so happy that I have this. I have used this 10 times and it will be going back into my collection, unfortunately. 2 of my favorite items. Actually, I like all of them. I really, really have been enjoying all of them. They're so good. All right, we're going to bring in 3 new items this round because I do have the foundation rolling out as well after 2 days. So I'm going to still keep it at about 5 items at a time, and hopefully this works for me. I was thinking of doing 10 products for 10 uses. I just think that's too much. So 5 it is for now. The first item we're going to be bringing in is the Dior Backstage Flash Perfector Concealer, and this is in the shade 2N. The reason I'm bringing this in is, first of all, it's relatively new. If I don't like it, I think I still have a time frame to return it. It's still in the packaging. It's something that is bougie and I've wanted to try. The packaging itself is stunning. You guys can see this is an absolutely gorgeous packaging. I love the frosted, it's like, is it glass or plastic? It feels like plastic, but it's frosted, it almost looks like. And then the detail with the Dior font on the top, really beautiful. I'm sorry that isn't focusing. And then it does have a doe foot. I haven't opened this yet. You guys can see that. I think this may be a little bit too deep for me right now, so we're going to check this out. It has a very narrow bottom on it, so when you put it down on the bottom, like, it has very little to stand up with, so it's not a very sturdy product for your table, just so you know. And then it has a brush tip, not a doe foot, so I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy that. And this is the product, so it is a little bit deep, but I do have a few concealers that are quite light, so I think I will keep this in. But I definitely want to try it on its own. 10 uses is going to be just fine. I might not get those 10 uses right away just because of the coloring. It is a little bit deep for me right now. I'm not sure why I'm buying such deep concealers lately, but it is quite a bit deeper than what I would put on my face at the moment. And then the next item that I'm bringing in is the Physicians Formula Butter Glow Concealer in the shade Fair to Light. So this one I could also pair with it, but I do want to try the Dior one on its own. But this is what the packaging looks like. It's got that very sunshiny, palmy looking packaging. I feel like they need to update the whole butter glow situation. I'm not sure that I understand. No one wants to look like a piece of toast. Butter glow just reminds me of like frying butter in a pan, or I don't know why, but butter glow doesn't sound sexy to me. Body butter, that's different. I understand the concept, but butter glow, when I think of a glowy butter, I think of it like melting in the pan and looking like grease. So I'm not really fond of the name, but I didn't name it. It's fine. It is what it is. It's just a name. But let's look at the product itself. It has a sponge tip. It's a newer item. I saw somebody talk about this. It says new, but it's probably been around for like 6 months to a year. Somebody was talking about this and saying that it was fantastic and they really enjoyed this. I don't know. Yeah, so this does not have a sponge tip. It is actually a doe foot, thank goodness. This has the same kind of bottom as a Dior one, which is really strange. And it's a little lighter, quite a bit lighter actually, which is great. So that'll be a good shade for me. And then you can use this to press it in. I'm not going to do that. That's nasty. I'm not going to do that. It's too small of a sponge. I might try it once just to get the feel for what that's worth. But this is the product. It's very yellow. So if you guys are more pink base, like more ruddy toned, I don't think this would work for you. But hopefully they have a decent shade range. I did not look into that. I only ordered this online. And it basically was the one shade that came up for me. So if you are more pink toned in base, this probably it's not going to work for you because it's very yellow. Even for my Simpson skin, it's very yellow. So I will try this for 10 uses. And then the last item, which I'm incredibly excited to bring in. I actually wanted to bring in another one of these. in a different brand, but we're going to be bringing in the Givenchy Prisme Libre powder. This is a matte finish and enhanced radiance loose powder 4-in-1 harmony, and it is called Light Complexion 3 Voile Rosé. Very excited. It comes with a tiny little powder puff. So let's open this up. This is the packaging. Very beautiful. You can see there's a little bit of powder dust on top of it. It's not going to do anything. It's stuck to there. But it's got the Givenchy like symbol on there. It has Prisme Libre on the side. And the bottom, this is the sticker is the whole bottom, which just gives you the same information as the packaging, which is great. This comes in, it says 4 times 1 gram. So each tiny little section that you see here, there's 2 here and there's 2 on the bottom, have 1 gram each. So there's 4 grams of product. I should tell you about the concealers as well. So the Dior Backstage comes with 11 mils of product. And the Butter Glow from Physicians Formula comes with 5.6 mils. So don't let packaging deceive you. You definitely get like almost double in here what you get here. So always consider when you're looking for something to be a better value, look for the mils versus the cost per mil or gram, however, or ounce, whatever you're doing, whatever metric system, whatever system you want to use. Just check for that because it could be very deceiving. And sometimes the drugstore items are not as cheap as you think they are. So let's just talk about this Prisme Libre or Prism Libre powder again. So this is the first time I'm actually opening the top, I believe, on this. It's got the tiniest little puff. It is so cute. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to be using this. I will probably use it at some point, but just not right now. But it's just too tiny and there's not a point enough to get right in that crevice that I need. So I currently am using some from Amazon and one from Sephora, and I do love those. I also have one to try from Elf, like a powder puff, and there's a few more on Amazon that I would like to try. Now, this is what the product looks like. You see you get the 4 different shades, and then the product comes out into here. I always tap mine off onto a tissue or a napkin. So I will tap it off into that, and then I will take my puff and just like press it in there and then press it onto my face, because then there's no cross-contamination with my fingers going in and touching in here. This way, if it doesn't work out for me and I'm not able to return it, I can pass it along to a friend without it being all nasty. So it's just the makeup artist in me. I just can't double dip like that. But this is what the product looks like, and I will use this one for 10 uses, and I'm sure down the road it'll end up in another project. But that is everything. This is all that I'm bringing in. I have these 5 items. We have the Say Rosy blush, which is beautiful. We have the KVD pressed powder foundation, the refillable. We have 2 concealers, one from Dior and one from Physicians Formula, and also the loose powder, setting powder from Givenchy. So I also wanted to see if this had a scent to it, but I don't know if I'll be able to tell until I actually lift, I'm going to smell it now. Let's try and take this off now. I do like that they put the Givenchy label here, so there's again no cross-contamination, and then you pull the big sticker off. It's almost like a soda can tab. So the Givenchy label was down, and then you lift that up and then you pull this across. That makes me very happy. That's very, very effective. I really like that. As simple as woo. Wow, it's like buying a fragrance. That is potent. That is quite potent. So I hope I do enjoy that. I've heard nothing but good things, and the smell it's a nice fragrance. Ooh, I'm already starting to catch my breath on the scent. And it's only going to be under my eyes, but I got to be very careful because you don't want to put too much fragrance on your body. At least I don't, but I will try that and I'll let you guys know what I think. So that's everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you are enjoying this. Please let me know in the comments if any of my suggestions have encouraged you to maybe look into something you might not have in the past or in the future. But I just am very excited about each and every single one of these things so far. And I'm hoping to keep the consistency going. I don't want a dud. I really don't want to get any duds, but I mean, we all do it. We all try new things and sometimes they just don't work for us. That's just the way that it goes. Everything's not going to be perfect, but thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. I hope you guys are all ready for Christmas. I'm so close to being ready for Christmas. And I mean, if you don't celebrate Christmas, then happy holidays. And I hope your holidays are going well for you, enjoying the weather and the beautiful, crisp, crunchy snow. And let's face it, in Canada, at least in where I am, we have ice rink roads right now. But anyway, take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.